Welcome to Shomach Shav on the Daf. Shir is sponsored by Rashi Ksav Yad Weiss, Leilui Nishmat his father, Rabbi Yisrael Doiv ben Yehuda Tzvi Zechetzar Livracha, whose yortzeit is Yud Beis Nisan. We're holding a Menachos Daf Ayin Tes. The Gemara Amud Beis introduces the idea that we have a toida which is a chayva, we have a toida which is an adava. Someone can donate a toida to bring a korban toida, but there's some toidas which are a chayva. What is a chayva? So Rashi and Rashi Ksav Yad in the first pshat explain, we talk about someone who said Harei alai toida. He obligated himself to bring a korban toida. But in the second pshat, Rashi Ksav Yad brings the end of the Amud. What is toidas chayva? Kigoi mifarish bayom vayoytze b'shayoro v'choyle shenitza michol yoy v'chovu sheyotzo mibeis hasurim. Meaning the ones that have the Pesukim in Tehillim tell us they have to bring a korban toida, and from there we have the source of Birkas Hagomel. They are the ones considered to be, they have to bring a toidas chayva. They're obligated to bring the korban. And we see from our Gemara, the ones you speak about toidas chayva, the obligation is different. We learn the Pesukim, we're talking about the different inyanim regarding the lechem that has to do with toidas chayva. If you look at the Levush in Orach Chaim Siman Reishu Tet Sif Aleph, he speaks about the Birkas Hagomel and says, who are the four they have to do Birkas Hagomel? Says the similar dove is a chol hachayim yidu chaselo. Hachayim is Rosh Tevois, choyle, Yisurim, Yam, and Midbar. And he says the source from this is what we found in Tehillim, that David HaMelech speaks about the four shetzichim le'oidos. So the Pri Megadim over there in the same siman in the Hagdama to the siman, he says, we find that you have this obligation. You have a source of it in Tehillim, but it's not a din d'oraisa, it's a din d'Rabbanan. We don't find in that Torah that you have this obligation. So the Shevat HaLevi in Chelik Gimel, Siman Kuf Samach Gimel, speaks about this inyan. It brings others that say it's only d'Rabbanan. Says all of these Mefarshim, all these poskim did not see the Rashi Ksav Yad, which was revealed only many generations later. They didn't see the Rashi Ksav Yad in our sugya says clearly that the four that are obligated to bring korban toida, it's mid'oraisa. That's why there's a chiluk between the breads they have to bring with the korban. So that's the kudah number one you see from Rashi. These four are chiyuvim d'oraisa, that he calls a toidas chayva is the ones that have to say Hagomel, the ones that have to bring korban toida. Second, the kudah points out the Shevat HaLevi is that one of the examples that Rashi brings is mifarish bayam, someone who goes and travels in the sea. So he says, you see from Rashi, he compares this to the other cases. The Chasam Sofer Chaim Siman Nun Aleph, he wants to bring that after someone who travels in the sea with a farish bayam, he doesn't have the same obligation of a goyim. And the reason is because he did it to himself. He didn't have to travel and mokab sakana. He decided to go into the sea, so he now went into sakana and he was nitzoil. He doesn't have the same obligation of a goyim because he caused it to himself. So yes, there's some hoidah he has to do, but it's not the same level. Says the Shevat HaLevi, if you look at Rashi over here, this Rashi Ksav Yad, you see the Rashi compares the Mefarish Bayam to the other ones. And this leads us to another discussion, which is in general, if someone caused himself to be in a sakana, does he have a goyim or not? In Shailas Shuvas of Lozo Hildesheimer or Chaim Siman Chavtes, it's brought down there a Shaila from Rav Moshe Yaakov Zoin regarding somebody who tried to commit suicide, but he was saved. Does he say a goyim or not? So Rav Moshe Yaakov wants to say, does not say a goyim, unless he regrets what he did, he's on the same mindset, he wasn't insane when he did it. But someone that did it purposely and he was saved, he doesn't have the chiyuv of a goyim, and his children don't have the chiyuv of that someone has when his father is saved by a miracle. So Rav Hildesheimer argues, he says no, disagrees, he says he has the same chiyuv of a goyim, and Adrabah, his children should come and be moideh. He doesn't explain too much why. But the Sefer Zdet Soifim sends us to the Shalos Teshuvas Leiv Chaim, Rav Chaim Falaji, Chelik Gimel Siman Nun Gimel, who brings the same Shaila, and he says for sure he has to do a goyim, because he was saved, he was supposed to be punished even more than a regular person, because he put himself in Makav Sakana, and he was saved. So the bracha goyim lechayovim toivos applies to him very much. He's very much chayav because he put himself in such a tzara. Of course, he should say a goyim. And the Matik over there says he wants to bring a raya, because he brings the name of the Chidah, that the only time you don't say a goyim is when a Kadosh Baruch Hu said for a person to go and do something. For example, when Avraham Avinu was saved from Kivshan Eish, did he say a goyim? So he brings the Chidah, he did not say a goyim. He brings also our Bosh and Chsul Pardis, that's brought down Gemara Chagigo, And Rabbi Akiva was saved, he did not say Hagomel. Because if Kodesh Baruch Hu told you to do it, it's B'Rishus HaKodesh Baruch Hu, then you don't do it. So the Matik says, do it from here. In any other case, even if a person put himself on Makom Sakana, he does say Hagomel. And this is what's been doing a little bit from our Rashi. The Rashi says, Hamefarish Bayam, meaning even someone put himself in danger, he still has to do Hagomel. Anyone who wants to join or sponsor the Shom Machshava Shiurim, please email shommachshava@gmail.com.